Alright, starting off with a bit of statistical analysis here. These are my most bought tier 1s. So we've got fish and duck at the top, and then kiwi is third. Now, fish and duck is not really a surprise, they've been in there since the very beginning. However, kiwi, if you just looked at kiwi's ability in the current version of the game, you might not understand why kiwi is so close to the top of the list. The reason is very simple. Its old ability was that when you sold it, it would give +2/+2 to a strawberry friend. And that was an extremely powerful ability, and it was very, very useful for video making purposes, because it would allow you to take any early game unit, particularly units that maybe aren't the best, put strawberry on it, buy sell every kiwi you see, and then end up with a very strong pet that you can take to the late game. Now that strategy has obviously gone away because kiwi's ability was completely changed. It's still a strawberry unit, however it's now hurt and sell give +1 attack to a strawberry friend. Now I believe in Star Pack itself, especially in versus mode, that's actually a pretty solid ability. I tend not to take it very much in Star Pack anymore, but that's just a personal preference. And I definitely don't take it in customs anymore. It used to be an auto-include. You would almost always have strawberry plus kiwi. These days I do often still have strawberry for other reasons, but most of the time kiwi doesn't make the cut. However, today we're going to make an exception, and we're going to try and make a team that is built around the kiwi and actually keeping its ability in the squad instead of just using it for the sell effect. To be honest, I guess the sell effect is pretty negligible now. It's mainly used in Star Pack for the hurt effect. And actually you can see here, it's something this has always bugged me, is that the kiwi, every time it attacks, it pauses because it's waiting for the hurt ability to process, but there are no strawberries anywhere to be seen. So I would really like it if that was tweaked so that we didn't have to wait for that particular animation delay. Kind of nitpicky, but these little optimizations make a big difference. I should actually mention, I don't know if other people have noticed, but in some of the recent versions there have been some animation optimizations which have been greatly appreciated. For instance, if you buy one of the toy pets, there used to be quite a long delay before the pop-up would appear, and now it's much shorter, which you very rapidly get used to it being much shorter and kind of forget that it was such an annoyance before. So yeah, they're always making these little improvements to the game, and I definitely appreciate it. So we're just, with the toy on board, we're just going to pill some pangolins, try and get the kiwi up to a good level of health, because we know we want to trigger its hurt ability as many times as we can. It's obviously, as a tier 1 hurt ability, it is very weak compared to the later game hurt pets. If we pick the correct squad, I think we can still make good use of it. So yeah, pill the pangolin. I could have maybe done that in the previous turn, given that the pill was free. But now we get the rooster. So the rooster is going to be the strawberry pet, which is going to be the target for the kiwi's ability. And then here I end up getting elk. Now, kiwi plus elk is a standard combo in Star Pack. The elk is going to increase the sell value of the kiwi, and normally you would be doing that for late game economy, mainly for the starfish pivot. However, here we're not going to be pivoting away from kiwi. The main reason I'm using the elk here is to make sure that the kiwi has a sell value of 3 or higher. And when it has a sell value of 3 or higher, you can see there it says 4. That means it will trigger Pacific Fanfish. So Pacific Fanfish is another unit that I don't think I've used in any videos yet. I've definitely seen other people using it, and its ability is to gain stats based on how many teammates have a sell value of 3 or higher. So all we needed was one turn of elk value scaling in order to enable that. Although I think ultimately I will end up getting level 3 kiwi. It's just a little bit of insurance, I guess. Now we lose our first heart here on turn 9, but that's not a big deal. We really just want to quickly find the last remaining pets that we need. Actually a little bit of a glitch there where the ice effect wasn't visible on the zebra for a second. Why sell Pillbug? Because it's going to let us pill this anteater and recover the gold from the ants. And then I think sell Beaver to make sure that the rooster gets the extra attack. Although we can use Woodpecker to set off the Kiwi's ability multiple times, it's not going to be giving a huge amount of stats to the rooster. So we need every scrap of attack that we can muster. And we'll also take a Sea Cucumber here. Always good to have an ailment pet in the current meta. It is slightly anti-synergistic with Rooster because obviously the chick could spawn and then end up receiving the buff from the tasty ailment, which would mean that it wouldn't do anything at all and wouldn't be permanent. But I guess saying it wouldn't do anything at all isn't quite correct, because it would actually be beneficial in the battle itself, but it wouldn't be permanent scaling. So now we get the Fanfish. The only thing we're missing now is the Woodpecker. And yeah, we'll just take a little bit of extra stats from the Clownfish. I was going to play the Rooster second there, but I changed the order because I didn't want to end up having the Rooster move to the front by Eggplant, and therefore the Kiwi not being able to target it. Now here, this is a free-to-play opponent that I've actually faced a couple of times in this run, and we'll come back to them at the end. So we buy sell the Oyster. We do get the level 3 Kiwi. And then I'm going to take Television because obviously Coconut doesn't really help too much when we've got a hurt effect. But Pita Bread actually would be a great perk for the Kiwi to have. And then look at this, Rev GT helps me out. He's got a Woodpecker here. And so we end up getting multiple activations on the Kiwi, even though we haven't found our own Woodpecker yet. Wombat copies the Rooster, but they're 2-1 chicks, so they're not going to do very much. And I think we are going to be lucky enough to get the buff from Tasty right at the very end. Another Zebra buy sell. There was a period where I kind of stopped taking Zebra at all, but it still, I think, is definitely worth it, even if you're not playing a buy sell squad. And oftentimes when you're specifically forcing a certain lineup, you will end up in situations like this where you end up playing a 4 squad for multiple turns even though you didn't really intend to. Unfortunately, the Brain Cramp overwrites the ailment here, but I think you can see already that we're not going to have much of a problem against this squad. Notice that they did have Eggplant there, so having the Rooster 2 spaces back from the Kiwi did actually make sure that the combo went off. And here is the Woodpecker, kind of late to the party, and we don't have much time to get it to level 2 or higher. But honestly, the amount of attack that the Kiwi is giving the Rooster isn't really super relevant. It's just fun to see a tier 1 ability actually coming into play in the later turns. Double level 3 Barnacle team. And here we see another way that the Kiwi can be double activated from the Crisp ailment from the Boitata there. And yeah, we do get some tasty value in the end on this one too. Turn 14, 9 trophies. Really, we don't want to be going much later because this squad is just not going to be good enough. And look at this, it's another free-to-play opponent. However, unfortunately, I'm going to have to blank out their name. People still manage to get past the username algorithm. But as you can see here, the Rooster is big enough that it knocks out their biggest unit, and we claim the victory with the Pacific Fanfish and actually end up getting the Kiwi ribbon. Pretty funny to not have the ribbon for a pet that I've bought so many times. And then I did say that that person who was free to play earlier is coming back, and here they are. Sir Elmet, whoever you are, you've been gifted Golden Pack. I hope you enjoy it.